Hi, good afternoon. Greetings from Singapore. This is Healy World Advanced Training. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we are going to go through all the 24 different programs for MagHealy. So we are talking about MagHealy Water Activation Programs today in detail. So before we begin, firstly, we want to thank Healy World for providing us this platform to do training. So this session will be recorded and published on the Healy World social media. Okay. Now, the session that we have here is purely for educational purpose only. So whatever that I suggest here is my own personal experience from using the Healy and MagHealy devices. So please use your own discretion and independent judgment as you use. And most importantly, follow your body and the feedback that you get from your body. So if you feel good, then continue. If you feel otherwise, you may need to change another method or another program. Yeah. So the Healy and MagHealy devices, they are not medical devices, but they can be used to harmonize and balance our bioenergetic fields and to use it to support the body as well as the fields. Okay, so they are not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any diseases. So should you feel any discomfort, you are strongly advised to seek the advice of professional medical doctors. Okay, so for those who are here for the first time and do not know me, welcome to Healy World Advanced Training. For those familiar names that I see on the chat and the participant list, welcome, welcome again. Thank you. So I'm Christi Wong from Singapore. So my work revolves around being a life coach, doing bioenergetic profiling for many years already. And my background is a little bit of everything. Biology, that's where my main profession is, and then the meridian system as well as wellness education for many years now. So I've used the Healy device for 4 years, but this technology in terms of bioresonance for more than 8 years. So over the years, I've compiled this information into 5 different handbooks that is available to everybody that you can purchase from my website, or you can just go to my YouTube channel for more information. So today we are going to dive into water. So we are 80 to 90% water. Okay, so therefore water is important to us. Yeah. So we are going to talk first about the science behind the property of water. And then I'm going to go through each of the 24 different MagHealy programs for activating water. And then I'm going to give you different ideas, different ways that these programs can be used and how you can actually use this informed water or activated water. Okay, it's exciting because it's more than just drinking. Okay, not? Yeah. So now there is this new term that is referred to water. You know, medicine, we call it pharmaceutical. But water, there's a new name for it now, that water can act as a medicine. And it is known as an infoceutical. Infoceutical, meaning that information, the correct information, if you put it into the water, that means you inform the water or you activate the water, can actually turn it into medicine that carry information to your cells. Interesting, correct? Okay, now where does our drinking water comes from? Okay, if you have the privilege to live near springs, rivers where you can get fresh, clean spring water, that is really marvelous. Okay, yeah. So if you go to waterfalls, and you drink straight from the source, you will find that the water has a different taste from the tap water that we drink every day, especially in the city. Okay. So the water here, it has a certain freshness, is energizing. Natural spring water is also full of minerals. It tastes different, usually tastes a little bit sweet, okay, mildly sweet, refreshing, okay, without any artificial chemicals in it. So it is very healing in nature. So therefore, when you go to the waterfalls with all the negative ions, with the water therapy and the sound of water splashing on the rocks, you feel refreshed. Okay, so that's why a lot of tourists, they like to go to all these places. Okay, now as the water flows down the river or the stream. Okay, we do collect water, especially in the cities. We collect them in reservoir or in dams. So they are either man-made big tanks, or they are water body that forms part of the parks and nature places or attraction for your respective places. So in Singapore, we have reservoir like this, okay, and we turn this reservoir into places where you can go for your walks and your exercise. So it is a two in one, okay. That's good and that's bad. So the bad is when you have a lot of people, the human actually bring along all our energy near the water sources, and our information actually get passed into the water. Okay. Now the other disadvantage, of course, is that this water is still, is not flowing. There's a benefit of having water that flows. Okay, so waterfall, the water splash on the rocks and they form what we call vortex, vortex, okay, vortices. The vortices actually, when it crash and land on the rock, the splash, and then the way it flows through all the rocks, it actually create the vortex, the spinning motion that actually reorganize the water molecules into a coherent water molecules. Okay or not? So the water is actually alive. Okay. So moving water is actually much better than water that is stagnant. So standing water, that means when the water is kept in a water tank, okay, or the water is kept in huge reservoir like this, is actually not moving. You can see that it's very, very, very still. So it's called a standing water. So when it's a standing water, the water molecules will just move randomly. Okay, so it does not carry any message particularly. All right, so it's just random water molecules at the micro level. So we have these two extreme of water that's splashing and flowing really, really fast, and water that is standing. Okay, yeah. So from the standing water through all the pipes, so it's directed eventually to your water tap at home. So when you are collecting the the water from the tap directly, the water molecules that you get is all random. It's all chaos. Okay, so we are merely drinking just water molecules alone, without any and of course the dissolved minerals, okay, in it. We are drinking that, okay, but there is no particular message in it. Okay, now water, H2O, So it has one oxygen atom, that's the big round red one, and two hydrogen. So what happens is they have in attractive forces between these molecules known as hydrogen bonds. So they tend to stick to each other like this. Okay or not? Yeah. So naturally they will form not all four bonds like this. In ice, they will form all the four bonds. But if it's normal chaotic water, so they will be randomly moving around. Okay. Yeah. So the early scientists, many of them are physicists, they actually looked into the property of water. So what happens is that there are a few findings, new findings that they discovered about water molecules, okay? That is not just the three states of water, that means water vapor, liquid water, and then the solid water, which is ice. They found that there is another amazing property of water. Okay, so as early as 1988, this particular French immunologist, okay, his name is in French is Jacques, Jack, Jack, Jacques Ban Banvinist, okay, in 1988, he discovered this, that water seems to carry certain information, okay? So he was doing his research in immunology. Immunology means infection, okay, and the immune system. So he was doing his research on like white blood cells, etc. And then he discovered that, okay, when he take antibody solution and he dilute it many times until in that liquid there is no more antibody proteins inside, it's just pure water. And he take this water and he apply it to certain white blood cells called the basophils. And to his amazement, the basophils actually react to that liquid as if there is antibody inside, which is a signal to the basophils that there is an infection in the body. So that's why the body produce an immune response, produce antibody. So he is able to trick the basophils just by applying the liquid that previously had antibody in it. Okay, just apply that water now without the antibody onto the basophils, and the basophils starts to react as if there is an infection. Okay, enough? Yeah. So he made a proposal that water actually act as a template. That means it is a medium by which an antibody molecules can actually put the information into the water. Okay or not? Yeah. So it sort of tell the water what is happening. Okay or not? Yeah. So he published that, and then he got into trouble because he was putting in something new that people just cannot accept. Okay or not? So he found that electrical fields, magnetic fields can actually induce the water to absorb and carry a certain information. Yeah, so that was what he found. That was early 1988. Okay, now all these early people who made this proposal, they all got into trouble. Okay, the next one was actually Luc Montagnier. Luc Montagnier. Okay, is also another French, but he is virologist who discovered the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV virus. Okay. Now, he is a Nobel Prize winner in medicine for his discovery of HIV. And he got his award in 2008. Luckily, he got his award first, okay, because in 2009, he found something which is quite similar to what Jock found earlier. So he found that water can retain electromagnetic imprints of DNA. So the earlier scientists said that antibody molecules seems to be able to put information into the water that surrounds it. So this guy actually found that DNA molecule also can do the same. Okay, so DNA strands from viruses, because he's dealing with viruses, he's a virologist. So, when viruses inject its DNA into the host, right? So its DNA goes in. So he found that if you take this DNA and put it in water, then after that you remove all this DNA, just the water alone. So they analyzed the water and they found that the water is actually emitting electromagnetic signals that is identical to the real DNA. So that means they had both. One is the water with the viral DNA. The other one is just the water where the viral DNA has been removed. Okay? So both are actually emitting the same electromagnetic signals. Yeah. So from here, okay, they propose that the viral DNA actually has sent its information into the water. So amazing thing is they took this water without the DNA to go and use an artificial methods to make DNA. What was amazing is without the DNA, just the water alone, the machine, okay, called the polymerase chain reaction, the thermocycler, it actually formed the actual DNA of the viruses. Okay, so he published his article, and in 2009, and then again he was bombarded that this is not impossible, this is not possible. Okay, yeah, but thankfully he already got his Nobel Prize in medicine earlier. Okay, so these earlier scientists, when they came up with something that seems impossible, they actually get the backlash. Then comes Emilio del Giudice. Okay, Emilio del Giudice. He came in much later, and he went on to do more research to find out what exactly happens to the water molecules. Okay, so what he discovered was that water actually absorbs from the environment, meaning that from the earth, from the trees, from whatever electromagnetic signals that is present in its environment. Let's say in nature, it will then absorb from the rocks, from the trees, etc. And that information, the electromagnetic information, actually changes the arrangement of water molecules. Okay, so the water molecules are organized into small groups, pocket groups like this. Okay, so water molecules can be chaotic. That means they randomly just move in the medium. But the moment you apply an electromagnetic signals to it, it actually group together into what they call coherent domains. All right. So small cluster of molecules. Each cluster here is about 5 million water molecules. Okay. Is forming a coherent domain, a cluster. 5 million water molecules, which is a lot. Okay, it's about the population in Singapore, 5 million. Okay, so these coherent domains in that cluster, based on whatever frequency that they receive, they will all arrange itself, and they will contain that information for quite some time. So one cluster, that means one coherent domain, may carry a slightly different information from another coherent domains. So different frequencies from the environment actually form clusters of coherent domains containing different information. Okay, so that was what Emilio found. Okay, so he went on to do more research. Okay, so he took the water. Okay, he subject the water with specific information, electromagnetic signals that he knows what it is. Then he amplify it, and then he went to do the scanning, and then it actually showed up. Okay, the water actually showed a particular information that he has subjected to. Okay, or not? Yeah. So then the water, again, different ones. You can see here, different domains here actually shows different signals, different wavelength. So when he subject the water to different signals, it actually get picked up as whatever signal that he actually sent. Okay, yeah. So that was pretty interesting. So he is one of those people who really showed that the water can actually contain this information and how the water actually keep that information. Okay, all right, yeah. So after that, what they do is, all right, just by submitting the signal to the water, they actually apply that water to animals, and then they see how the animal respond. So one is giving the actual electromagnetic spectrum to the animal, and the other one is through water. That means they put the electromagnetic signal into the water, and then they subject the water only to the animals to see how they respond, and the outcome was exactly the same. So whether you receive it directly, the signal, or whether you put the signal into the water and then use the water to apply, is the same. Okay, no? Yeah. So that was his first evidence of what he has done, that water can actually carry information. Okay. Now, another scientist, Gerald Olak, okay, he showed that water has another property. Okay, other than earlier scientists shown that water can contain information by absorbing electromagnetic signal. Okay, so Emilio showed it through his experiment. Now, this is a totally different property of water. Okay, or not? So we know that water can exist in gaseous form, water vapor, liquid form, which is our drinking water, ice, which is solid. And now he discovered that water has another property, the fourth phase, which is the gel, G-E-L, the gel phase, which is neither solid nor liquid, but a bit of semi-solid gel phase. Okay, now this is what he found, that water can attach to surface. For example, the cell surface membrane. So when it attached to the cell surface membrane, that water actually ionizes and it gives out free electrons. Okay, yeah, so close to the surface, it will actually become ionic state. It exists as H3O2 rather than, it exists as H3O2 rather than H2O. Okay, so there's a slight change very close to the cell surface membrane. Okay, yeah, so it actually have a lot of free ions, a lot of free protons. Now, what is the importance of this? They call this the exclusion zone of water. That means The fourth phase of water, when the water comes in contact with a hydrophilic surface, they form what I call a yellow box. Okay, to help you to understand, I use this analogy of the yellow box. So I do not know whether your country has this yellow box. Okay, in Singapore, we have this yellow box, especially at the junction. So what happened is, in this yellow box, car are not supposed to stop there. Okay, so there's no parking zone. You cannot stop there. You cannot even wait there. You have to keep it clear all the time so that the traffic is smooth flowing. Okay or not? Yeah. So this is to allow cars to move properly. So this is called an exclusion zone. Exclusion zone. So what happens is, your cell, on the outside of your cell is the cell surface membrane. Okay? And on this surface membrane are a lot of what we call channels, carriers. So this is the opening, the door for the entry and the exit of different substances, whether it's amino acids, glucose, sodium, chloride, etc. Okay, not? Yeah. So now what happened is, if you drink water, you eat good food, but if the surface, the door is actually clogged up with a lot of rubbish, okay, that is stuck to the surface of the cell membrane, it actually blocks the good substances from moving in and out of the cell. Okay or not? Yeah. So now what happened is, water, when it is able to ionize itself, it can actually do this. Okay, they form this exclusion zone when it actually receives the electric field or the electromagnetic field. So when we apply electric field and electromagnetic field to water, it will exhibit this particular property, okay, to ionize, and they form a clear zone. That means they draw the yellow box outside the cell surface membrane, and it prevent what? It prevent viruses, it prevent bacteria, it prevent heavy metals, okay, from cluttering near the cell surface membrane. Okay, so they actually do a quick cleanup so that when you have the clear zone, your water, your nutrients, and all that have that yellow box to pass through freely. So they are not blocked, disrupted by impurities, by viruses, bacteria, and other cell debris. Okay, now? Yeah. So this is one of the benefit, okay, that when you drink water that has been exposed to an electric field or electromagnetic frequencies, it can do that for you. So you will find that absorption becomes better for your cells. Okay? Yeah. So this is what happens. Okay, Anna? All right. So two things happen when we allow water to receive electric signals or electromagnetic frequencies. Okay. One is, it allows water to form clusters called coherent domain to carry the information of that electromagnetic frequency. The second thing is, it actually causes the water near the cell surface membrane to actually clear up all impurities, so that that particular layer that is immediately on the cell surface membrane is not blocked. There's no blockage. It's a clean, easy pathway for water, for nutrients, for absorption, for detoxification. Amazing? Okay. Yeah, so I hope I make it simple enough for everyone to understand. Okay. Uh, Last but not least, one more person who I will bring up is Dr. Masaru Emoto. Okay, many of us would heard of his work, but he is not a scientist. Okay, he's an author, entrepreneur. He has written his book. So for him, it was just curiosity, a certain personal observation, okay, that water carries information. Okay, and he likes photography, he likes to look at crystals, so he happened to spot that there is a difference. Okay, or not? So he is not coming from perspective of science, but he is sharing based on his information, his observation that water seems to have a memory, and that memory includes the messages, okay, of all this water is actually absorbing from our thoughts and our emotions. Okay. Yeah. So actually thoughts and emotions, when you look at it from an energy perspective, a thought is a frequency and emotion is a frequency. So we are an energetic being that is constantly emitting electromagnetic signals, frequencies. Okay or not? So therefore, he is saying that the water in your body is constantly absorbing all of this. Okay or not? So your body is an archive of the thoughts, emotions that you have had in your entire life. In your entire life. Okay? Yeah. So I do not know whether you observed that when you started using Healy device, okay, you feel thirsty. Okay, or not? So initially when I first used it, I was so thirsty as if I am living in desert. I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to drink water. But now I don't do it anymore. Okay, it was the initial period. So what I suspect is water get broken down. Okay or not? So when I drink, so I'm actually drinking the new water that flush my body, and the old water that carries all the thoughts, words, feelings that are negative is as if is broken down. Okay or not? Yeah. So for him, he is an author. He recorded his observation in the books that he had written. Okay or not? Yeah. So based on this, we are not saying that um, we have any clinical evidences to prove. Okay. So experiments have shown that it is possible to actually change the behavior, the property of water through electromagnetic frequencies or electromagnetic signals. Okay, so that is the underlying basis of using the MagHealy. All right, so we always say water. We didn't say liquid activation. So a lot of people like to ask me, can I use coffee? Can I use juice? Can I use tea? Can I do this? Can I use that? The answer is you can do it, but we are emphasizing on water. Okay? Because there is a difference between water and tea, coffee, cola, any soft drinks, sugary drinks, for example. Because when it's pure water, you have free water. The moment you drop a sugar into water, what happens is for the sugar to dissolve, the water will have to bind to the sugar molecules, and then you actually get less and less and less free water inside. Okay or not? So of course, you can actually use this on your orange juice, etc. But here, the reorganization of water will only work for free water molecules. Okay, not what we call in science bound water, bound, B-O-U-N-D. So bound water that's attached to all the dissolved sugars in the liquid are not free to move around. They are stuck there already. Okay, not? So for best benefit, pure water. Okay, our normal water. Okay, all right. Now, can I do it on hot water, warm water? Okay, room temperature is preferred because warm water, the molecules are moving. So after you subject it to the frequencies, because of the kinetic energy, the thermal motion will cause the water molecules to move, 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 move. Okay, now so the hotter the water, the more they want to move. Okay, so it's harder to actually do the clustering, the coherent domain. So room temperature water is preferred. Okay, now the container of the water matters as well. Okay, it's supposed to be non-metal. You can use glass, you can use plastic, you can use porcelain, okay? Anything but metal. Because why? Metal has a layer of electrons, okay? And that electrons will actually interfere with the electromagnetic signals that you want to put in, okay? Yeah, so there is a question whether or not you can use refrigerated or ice cold water. Okay, now, if you are concerned about health, right? We actually do not recommend drinking icy cold water. Okay, when you drink icy cold water, you actually weakens your body. So the water that you drink should actually be almost close to the temperature of your body. Okay, or not? Yeah, Lucy. So so that is one thing about using refrigerated ice cold water. Okay, for health, it is actually not encouraged. Okay, but can you do it or not? Ice cold, if there's ice, the structure is actually solid. Now you can't do anything to it. So it must be liquid water for you to actually make it effective. Okay or not? So if it's refrigerated but liquid, I would say it's still okay. All right. At least the water molecules is not moving that fast. Okay. Yeah. But they are a bit sluggish, but it's still okay. Yeah. So the information, as long as it's liquid refrigerated, is okay, but not solid ice. Okay, because solid ice, the water does not move. So you cannot rearrange them. Okay. Yeah. So then next one is people will ask me, okay, can I do a big jug for the family and then leave it there? Okay. Based on what I read from some of the information, they mention that the information can actually last for a few days to a few months. It actually weaken along the way. Okay, or not? So, but we have no way of telling. Okay, or not? We have no way of checking whether the coherent domains are still there. Okay, so Healy World did not actually do not have a way to actually tell us after we do that how much information actually go into the water. So my recommendation is actually to drink it immediately for the best effect. So for me is whenever I want to drink it, I'll just do it 10 minutes and then I'll drink it within half an hour very quickly. Okay or not? So if you want to do it within the day, based on what I read, for one day, I would think it's still possible. Okay, for a few days, I don't recommend it because I have no idea of checking whether the information is still there. Okay or not? Yeah, because when they do experiment, right, you have no idea what is the condition that they use to carry out the experiment and whether the strength of the frequencies that we use here, are they the same? Okay, so I cannot do just a direct comparison like this. Okay, yeah, scientists are like that, so we would think. So I recommend that you have to finish it within 1 day latest. Okay, for best effect. Distilled, filtered, as long as it is water. Okay, whether it's distilled water, filtered water, is better than having other stuff into the water. Okay or not? Yeah. Okay, so let's start. All right, so all the uh 24 different information. So, oh yeah, another question that I do get is, can I put 2 or 3 programs into the water? Now, even one program, if you observe the frequency in one program, there are already so many frequencies, okay, in that one program. So what happened is I find that 1 program a day for that water is okay. If you drink different cups, if you want different frequency, then have different glasses of water. First you do this, in the second glass you put another program, then the third glass you put another program, so that you can have different programs along the day. Okay, rather than a big jug and then you put 2 or 3 programs inside. So I have no way of checking, you see or not. So I cannot promise you anything, whether or not it's possible or not possible. You can try it and then you drink it, and then based on what the body tells you, you decide. Okay? Yeah, because everything is invisible. So therefore, I can't see what is happening in the water. Okay? All right, so I've answered Eileen's question. Okay, so I prefer to do 1 program at a time. Okay. So that answers most of the question. If you have other questions, you can put them in the chat. I will answer them along the way if it's relevant. Okay, so now let's start. I'm going through one by one at a time. The first one is fitness. You can drink this before or after sports. Okay, hydrate yourself. Okay, yeah. So that will be, so it supports your muscle. It supports your sweating, your circulation. So this is hydration before and after sports. Then the next one is cell harmony. Okay, so this one is good for all cells in the body. So it's very generic and is suitable for everyone, whether it's elderly, children, babies need to drink water. Okay, so this is actually safe and suitable for everybody. Okay, so the water inside the cell are many different organelle structures. A lot of these structures need the water to actually give its functional shape. That's one. And then it acts as a solvent for chemical reaction to take place. So a lot of water is actually needed. And although we may be drinking a lot, right, doesn't mean that the water can actually go into the cell. So if you find your cells swelling, means that the water is actually not going into the cell. So if you are dehydrated, you drink water and then you keep going and urinate, it means that the water is actually not going into your cells. Okay. Now, one thing I find that when I drink MagHealy activated water, I can drink 2 or 3 cups. I don't go to the toilet. Okay. The loo releasing the water very little. Okay, that's how I know that my body was actually very dehydrated. Okay, yeah. Conversely, if I just drink any water, if I drink 1 glass at one go, within 20 to 30 minutes, I will make one trip to release myself. Okay, yeah. So I actually compared. So it tells me that when I drink MagHealy activated water, it goes into the cell. So it's not circulating in the body and then everything gets filtered out. Okay? Yeah. All right. So I think it's good for people with, let's say, hypertension. You can try drinking MagHealy activated water. Okay. So that the water that is circulating in your blood vessels can actually go into the cells. And it go more easily into the cell because it has cleared up the surface of the cell surface membrane so that water can move freely. Now, nutrition transport. This is good if you're taking medication, okay? And you want your medication to go to where it is meant to go. So it will actually increase the absorption of the medication. You may find that, okay, let's say if you're on blood pressure medication, if it works, what can you see? That either you get a very quick drop in blood pressure. Okay, so it means that the medication becomes more effective, okay, because it gets transported and it goes into the cells that is supposed to work. Okay, now, so medication. Now, the other one is supplements. If you are taking any form of supplements, you can actually drink the water with your supplements. Okay. Then before, after meal, okay, so you can drink this so that it will actually help in your digestion, absorption. Okay. Yeah. Then, okay. Uh, Water for the kidneys. Okay, so there's water for the kidney. So the information here, by drinking it, it will actually go to the kidney organs and then facilitate, okay, the function of the kidney. So this is very, very targeted to a specific organs. Okay, so let's say if you have frequent urination, difficulty in urinating, okay, toxicity, so you can improve the function of the kidney using water with the kidney information. Okay, now vagus is actually for relaxation. So the water with information for vagus will be targeted towards your entire non-sympathetic or vagus system, nervous system. Okay, so this actually will help you to relax. Okay, for skin, you can use this to wash your face. Okay, you can use this water to do your mask. Okay or not? Yeah, so some of us, we have, those paper masks, right? So you can actually immerse your paper mask into the MagHealy activated water, let it absorb, and then you just put it on your face, okay? So that it can absorb directly through the skin. Now, skin has many purposes. Your whole entire intestinal tract is also skin. So you can also use this. Let's say if you have a stomach upset, if your stomach is too acidic, gastritis, okay, yeah, you can drink this because it also help in the epithelial of the intestines, okay, the entire intestines. So that's skin. Okay, if you have any wound, etc., you can use the skin to actually clean wounds. Okay, yeah, that is for the skin. So also if you have, let's say, scalp issues, dandruff, okay, skin that are peeling, etc., so you can actually there is this thing, diffuser, some nano diffusers that you can actually use this to hydrate the skin. You can try that. Okay, so these are some of the possible uses for skin. Then this is energy circulation, local and systemic. Systemic is to promote the energy circulation. So the energy circulation here, the meridians require water, channels of water to actually flow through. And then some of this water is also found between the fascia, FASCIA, okay, in between your muscles, those soft tissues, the fascia. So you need to have water over there for energy to actually flow through. Okay, yeah. So that will be energy circulation systemic that will actually support your meridian system. So you can use this water if you're using any of the meridian programs. All right, so you can actually help the two together. Now, energy circulation local. Okay, I do not drink this, but what I do is I put the MagHealy at the area where I wanted the circulation at that particular point. Okay, so I tried that and it worked well for me. So you can try that as well. Okay, or you can try the water. I've not tried the water for that particular one. Okay, then bioenergetic regeneration. This is to actually stimulate your stem cells, stimulate repair, stimulate regeneration in the body, in the cells. Okay, yeah. And so therefore it's good for, let's say, elderly. It's good, let's say, after surgery, after um, aging issues. Yeah, so you can drink more of regeneration, especially if you have elderly parents, so they can actually drink this. Yeah. Then for fasting, you have fasting in morning, fasting noon, fasting evening. So all kinds of fasting, whether this is a detox fasting or religious fasting or just wanting to just give your body a rest, so you can actually pair it with lighter meals. Okay. Yeah, just taking probably fruits, vegetables, okay, or just do a water fast. That means drinking water the whole day, entirely up to you. Okay, so you can have variations like this. Okay, now it does cleansing, purification, and then it also help by not feeling so hungry. That's based on my experience. Okay, I find that the hunger pangs is not there. Okay or not? Yeah. So fasting in the morning, you drink it in the morning, or let's say before you start your fast. So you can actually start with the morning. If you're just doing normal fasting, water fasting, you can drink fasting noon in the afternoon. Okay. And then evening, then you drink fasting evening. Okay. So if you're doing those very strict food and water fasting, that means you do not eat or drink, then you just do whichever that you are allowed to drink. Okay, yeah. Okay, energy you can do it when you need to do work, strenuous work, or if your body is tired and you just want to put in the make yourself more energetic. All right. So this will be to support the mitochondrial function. Okay. So you have more water. So, okay, let's say if you are traveling, if you need to do something that requires more energy than normal, then you can actually do that. Okay. Mental clarity. Mental clarity is good when you have brain fog. Huh? Yeah. So if you're a bit groggy, you can't think because you didn't sleep well the night before. So mental clarity is also good if a person feels dizzy, your head is spinning, headache, or nausea. All right. What else? Not thinking clearly, not thinking properly. So you can just drink mental clarity. And let's say after lunch, you just feel that, well, the sugar spike is there. So you can actually drink mental clarity. All right. So this is actually to harmonize your brain. Okay. And yeah, so this is mental clarity. Now, heart opening. Okay, I've heard from different feedback that people who refuse to open up or talk, people who are depressive, okay, cannot articulate or refuse to be sociable, okay, that when they drink heart opening, it becomes easier for them to actually be vulnerable, to say, to talk. Some will say that they talk more. Yeah. In fact, there was one person, she said that this particular guy is actually so um, he lives alone. He's so quiet. So when his brother and sister-in-law came back from another country and stay at his house, they find that it's so hard to engage him. So they actually made this water heart opening. And he said that for that particular day, he just couldn't stop talking. Suddenly it was just, open sharing. Yeah. So that was heart opening. Okay, for children, people who are a bit depressive and don't feel like talking to people, withdrawn, you can actually use heart opening. Now, water coherence. Water coherence is to make the water, with the vortex like that. Okay, so this can be used for any purpose. All right, any purpose, water coherence. So it does not have any specific functions, but basically it harmonizes the water molecules so that they are all in coherence with one another. Okay. Yeah. So which means that this one will actually remove the coherent domains. So they are not like carrying any specific information, but they are just in flow with each other. Okay. Yeah. Then purification of negative information. Now, if I ever do 2 programs on water, this is one of the programs that I will use first. Okay. Now, water, because of its ability to absorb electromagnetic frequencies from all around the surrounding, it actually absorbs all sorts of things. Okay. So the water, when it's transported to your house, along the way, it will absorb whatever there is. Bottled water, especially those that are sold in shops, okay, those are the worst quality of water because, when they're displayed there at the supermarket, right? So anyone who walk past the water, okay, we send signals, we send our thoughts. So the water that are displayed there are actually absorbing all of this information. Okay. So I will use this if I have time for 2 programs. I will run this program first to clear all the information that is in the water that it has already absorbed. Okay, or not? Then after that, I choose whichever one that I have, and then I put that particular information into the water. Okay, so my intention was to clear the information in the water first and then put the information that I want. Okay, I use that. Now, I find that this one here was particularly good for me, especially when I eat meat. Okay, and I feel discomfort from certain meat. So I feel that the animals may go through certain trauma, either in the process of producing the meat or in the process of getting the meat ready or the way it is processed during cooking. So if I feel stomach discomfort after eating those meat, purification of negative information works for me like magic. Just a few, half a cup, I will immediately feel the entire relief in my digestive system. Okay or not? So this is what I would recommend, especially when you eat food that are not produced properly or not processed properly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Low quality. Sometimes they don't use good quality materials. All right. So whether it's the flour that they use, not only meat, okay? Sometimes it's the vegetables that they use. So my body is sensitive. So if there's anything there that, is unnatural, my body can pick up very quickly. So this one helps me a lot. This one helps me a lot. Okay. All right. Now detox. Okay, you can do this to support all your detox organs. So your detox organs include your lungs, includes your blood, your liver, your kidney, all right. Also your brain. Basically, every part of the body needs to remove waste products. These waste products can be um, metabolic waste. They can also be pesticides, heavy metals, some of these things. Now, if you are a person who likes the long bath, okay, I've tried this, okay, meaning that, when I go to hotels and they have this long bath, what I'll do is before I go in, okay, when the water is filling up, right? So what I do is I put the MagHealy. Make sure that you don't drop the MagHealy into the water. So you have to be very careful here that I would turn on this program, bioenergetic detox, okay, to activate the water before I go in and soak. So if you like to, let's say, soak your feet with water, warm water, for example, as a detox mechanism or for relaxation, you can actually activate your water first. You cannot. So let's say if you're running a spa, okay, if your business is to do this kind of water therapy, etc., you can actually use the MagHealy activated water for different purposes. Okay or not? So if you want, let's say use skin, you can also soak in this water and then use the skin program. So let the skin and the water interact to remove impurities from the skin, etc. So you can actually be creative, okay, with the way you use the water. Yeah. Okay, now before stress, and then there is an after stress. Before stress is when you know that a stress is coming. Okay, for example, if you have a big important meeting, you have a conference, okay, or let's say for me, before this kind of presentation. So, okay, if the stress is coming, you're moving house, so you can actually drink the energy water or you can drink before stress. Okay, if you find that coordinating, okay, managing people, all this is going to stress you out, you can actually drink all this before stress. Okay, after stress is when you have something unpredictable and then, you are stressed. For example, after a surgery, surgery is very stressful because before that, you're mentally stressed with what is going to happen. All right, so your body goes through a lot of stress when you are sick. Okay, so during the recovery process after a flu, after a sickness, you should actually use after stress. All right, so it will actually help the body to relax, to deal with the stress, and then to recover far more quickly. The stress is not just the mental stress, but every part of the body. For example, liver may be stressed. Okay, your muscles may be stressed after sports, for example, after a competition. That is after stress. Okay. Yeah. Then bioenergetic defense here is for your immunity, your immune system. Okay, so while you are having, let's say, an infection, when you're sick, having fever, having a flu, this is what you can actually use for drinking. All right, so this is to support your immune system. Okay, all right, so it may also help to cleanse your body as well from any bacteria, parasites, viruses, fungal spores, so you can actually do the cleansing. Okay, so together with the detox, this can be used together with the bioenergetic detox. Okay, let's say for diarrhea, all right, so you can use water like this to actually flush your system. Okay, now unpleasant sensation got multiple uses. Okay, it can be when you're sick, okay, when you feel dizzy, when you feel nausea, when you feel bloated, right? So I use this for almost anything. All right. When I feel all kinds of discomfort, even itch, when you feel itchy, etc., I will try different things. I'll try skin, I'll try unpleasant sensation. I find that unpleasant sensation is multi-purpose. All right. Any discomfort, in fact, I will just go and drink unpleasant sensation. Yeah. Okay. So this is easy and useful for all kinds of purpose. Now for sleep, drink it not too near your sleep time in case it causes frequent urination for you. So if you tend to go to the toilet frequently after drinking, I would recommend at least 2 hours before your actual sleep time. Okay. And you can use the sleep, and this one you use it in the evening. Okay. Yeah, this is to facilitate sleep. Okay, for plants, I think somebody asked about plants and pet. Pet animals, they can drink whatever the human can drink. Okay, so you can give it to pets. For plants, you can use this one here. All right, this is for plants, so you can actually water your plants directly, pour into the soil, or you can for your cut flowers. So you actually put the programs to activate the water first before you put your cut flowers into your vase. Okay, or trees, anything. All right, so you can actually water them with this. Okay, so I've covered all 24 of them. Okay, so yeah, so here today we don't use the high wave. All right, so here we only talk about the MagHealy, so I can skip all this. All right. Okay, so I'm going to answer some of your questions. I see that there are a lot of questions over there. So let me finish this first before I go to the question. So next week, next Thursday is a Chinese session. So this session is about the sleep mask. Okay, so it's a repeat of the last session that we have for the 0 Hertz mask, but this is actually for in Chinese. So if you have friends who need Chinese, you can actually refer them to this. Okay, and then I'll see you again on the 20th of August. It's about kidney health, bladder, and for kidney, how to take care of these organs. Okay. Now, if you have any good experience with the MagHealy activated water, I invite you to come forward and share your experience so that everybody can learn from each other. If you have other sharings, you can also come forward. So, yeah, then I'll take the questions now. Okay. Mona, you want to ask first? Mona Lisa? Yes, no, no? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening, Christy. I
Yes.
always have a question to ask what to do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, nice explanation actually.
Uh,
I wanted to ask, I normally drink warm water. So how do I charge it? Because MagHealy can't be kept upon warm water, right?
Preferably not. All right. So you can
Yeah.
wait until the water is just mildly warm.
Okay.
I mean, you can feel from the glass, right? Just wait until it's mildly warm, not those where, it's yeah. So
Steam is coming out.
as low
Yeah,
a
yeah.
temperature as you can tolerate, lah. Yeah. Mm.
Okay. And then
Mm.
can we mix charged and uncharged water?
Why do you want to do that?
No, because if I take hot water and I
Ah,
charge cold water, and can I
ah.
mix in that cold charged water into the hot water?
Okay.
That can be do?
It would actually be better if, I mean, you drink a lot of water throughout the day, right? So it may be just that one glass that you wait until it is mildly warm, then you do it lah. Just that
Okay.
glass lah. Then the rest of the day you can actually drink the hot water that you need lah.
Okay. And
Okay.
how long will the charge remain? Uh,
How
one
long
day
does the
kind?
charge remain? I think within
Yeah.
1 day should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, I've no way to test because I can't see the information in the water and there are no
Right.
equipment for
Yeah.
me to actually test. So I have no idea. So I always go by what is the best benefit for me. Yeah, because it takes
Okay.
time, it takes discipline, right? To put there 10 minutes, wait for your water. So why
Yeah.
go through all the effort and not get the best benefit out of it? Yeah.
True. True.
Mm.
And does the container also matter? Like
Yes.
glass?
Yes, I mentioned that. Maybe you have missed that particular portion there, so you can rewatch again. Yeah.
Okay.
So that I can take more questions. Okay, so can you
Okay.
rewatch
Sure.
that
Sure.
part?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Thank
Mm.
you.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to take the questions. Refrigerator water, distilled, filtered, anything as long as it's water. How many program answered? Pets answered. Maria's question. Can I use the MagHealy water programs on hydrogen water? Yes, you can, as long as there is free water inside. Hydrogen water, I think, is also treated. All right, they have treated the water as well. So you can try that, drink it. Okay, you see, and then see how it goes because I have not tried it, so I can't really give you the advice on that. Okay, so you can have the same program, try it on your hydrogen water, drink it, and then you try it on your normal water, and then you drink it, and you feel which one gives you the best effect. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because the when you drink hydrogen water is that, like you said, is already electrolyzed, right? So they actually run the water through an electric field already. Okay, or not? So the other way is, of course, you drink hydrogen water, just hydrogen water, because it has been gone through the electric field. And then when you want to drink your MagHealy water, you just take the normal water and then you activate the water. Okay, so you can try that separately and then you combine the two and then you see what is the combined effect. Okay, so you can do your own experiment. Yeah. Okay, Joy said there's a huge 5G tower. Yes, from the environment. So the water actually picked up from the environment. So it picked up from you, it picked up from all the people around you. Okay, so yeah, even the Wi-Fi at home also it will pick up. So you don't even need like a huge 5G tower. So it depends on the signals from the tower. Okay. Yeah, so definitely if the signal is strong enough, then definitely it will actually affect the water in the house. Okay, distilled water, do I have to add salt? No, you don't need to add anything to imprint the water because it's the frequency, the electromagnetic frequency that is actually interacting with the water molecules to put the information in the water molecules. Okay, then if I make one big jug, do one program, can't finish, can I do another program? Yes. So if you're doing a big job, you do one program. Let's say within that day you didn't finish, and then the next day, yeah, you can because the information may have dissipated. So when you put in the next information, the water will most likely take on the information from the new frequency that you apply. Okay, can you use defense with purification of information? Yeah, so the sequence method use purification of negative information first to clean up the water. Then you put the bioenergetic defense. Okay, if you want to have two programs, clean the water, then put the next information. AGP. Okay, AGP, you are here. I let you ask your question since you put up your hand.
Hi, Christi.
Yes. Hi.
Ac- Yeah, see, I don't have MagHealy. I'm planning to buy, but until then, with the high wave, can I do anything in the sense how to
Uh,
charge the water?
okay, you don't do the high wave. You put the coil, Healy,
Okay,
and the coil. Okay. You can choose any of the programs. And then somebody has tried this. Somebody actually used the kidney program in Healy, put the
okay,
coil, and then put the Healy and the coil on the side of the glass.
okay,
And the person said that it worked. Okay. Yeah.
okay, okay,
So if you don't have a
okay.
Healy, you can try that method first. But the Healy program is very long. It's like 1 hour or so. Yeah. So he actually waited for the whole hour for the Healy to actually charge the water. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you very much. But I
Mm.
just want to know whether it is going to have the same effect like this water or when we apply it on our body, like, high wave watch.
Oh,
The
directly
same
on the
effect is
body.
same?
Okay. Directly on the body, through high wave is effective. Okay, not because
Okay,
it's actually going through the water also. Okay, why are we
okay,
using both is if you are drinking water and the water stays in the blood vessels rather than goes through into the cell, into the structures, then you can apply this, but cells, they need the water and all that to function. Okay or not? So when you combine the two, meaning that the cells get all the water, my meridians, the fascia, everything there is water to carry all this. So you can use this, but if you don't have water as the medium for it to move through, is
okay,
also not as beneficial. You see or not? So that's why we are doing both.
okay,
Okay?
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question.
Mm.
So this kidney filtration problem, many are having nowadays, kidney filtration problem. So, but when
Kidney,
when we are using filtration,
kidney
that kidney
filtration
filtration,
problem. Yeah.
yeah. So it is nowadays for it will be around 55 to 60. Too less it is kidney filtration
Uh-huh.
in the body. So what I'm asking is, you people are asking us to drink more water. Is it okay to drink 3 liters per day as per our weight?
Okay, for water, if you have kidney issues, you have to get the advice from the doctor. Okay, because some are not allowed to drink more than a certain amount of water per day because it all
Okay,
depends on your kidney function and your ability of your kidney to actually process and remove the excess water. Okay or not? So you have to get the advice from the doctor how much to actually drink. Okay or not? But in the event that you can't drink a lot, you can actually try just put the MagHealy and the water programs directly on the body.
okay,
Yeah. So you can try
okay.
that
Thank you very
because, yeah, because you can't have too much intake of water. So you just work with whatever water that is available in the body. Okay, but this is my method lah. Okay, it's not a method that is recommended by Healy. All right, so you can consider that, okay, but don't take that as good advice. Okay. So I'm different
much.
because I
Yeah, yeah.
experiment
Thank you
on
very much.
my own body. All right. But when you are dealing with people with health issues, yeah, you have to be extra careful. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
thank you. Thank
mm,
you.
yeah. Okay. Soul healing. What should be the ideal position for drinking water? Okay, I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Ideal position. Normally, we don't drink all at one go. All right. You should be like drinking mouthful with some time interval apart. Okay. Yeah. So in the Chinese way of drinking is like that. It's not dung, 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 one whole cup all at one go. All right. Then what do you mean by ideal position? You either is upright or horizontal, but we don't drink water horizontally, so it's upright. So maybe you can clarify a little bit what you mean by this. Okay. Alamo, I'll let you go. Soul Healing, you're here. So I'll let you ask your question first. Hi. Do you want to clarify your question? She's not there. Okay, Alamo, let you go first.
Yeah. Hi, Christi.
Hi.
Yeah. It was a great presentation. Got to know so much science behind it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have a few queries. So first one is when I do the 5x5 analysis in MagHealy, I have got many times plans for myself. So then what do we do? So do we still charge the water using that plant program and have it, or is it only for plants?
Okay. All right. Up to you. Okay, it's up to you. So, plants, they are also living. So the organelles inside the plants, half of them is the same as human. Okay or not? So don't worry if you get plants. Okay or not? So you can actually make the water for plants and then just drink it. Okay? Because that is the best match, okay, after doing the analysis for you. But if you do not want, then you just ignore it and then just go and see what is the second on the list. Okay or not? So it's entirely up to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
One more
treat
thing. So when we do the 5x5 analysis, so what is your suggestion? Like, do we do it every day for water programs, or do we do it once a week and then follow it?
Okay.
What do you suggest?
Yeah. So it depends on whether you are in a healthy state or whether there are concerns that you want to follow through. Okay or not? So for me, if I feel okay, I actually don't do my 5x5 every single day or every single week unless I'm free. Okay or not? Yeah. So I actually listen to my body because I look at when I do the all healing, I look at what comes out and the figure. So if the figure is not alarming, I will just run the 5x5. That's it. Okay. Or I see which one comes out. Then I say, oh, I haven't done this particular thing for a long time. Then I say, okay, Meridian 1 comes out. I just do Meridian 1, So based on my own intuition, I'll just do that. Okay or not? But let's say if you have issues, all right, or if you see percentage that are out of ordinary, then you will go into the details of it. Yeah. So for me, if it's my parents, I will do it very diligently for them because they are aging and the body can change, any day one. So I do for them the 5x5 more regularly than I do for myself. Yeah. Okay.
And so you don't drink charged water then every day, like how it is. Like, let's assume I take 3 liters of water every day. So what is like, do we charge all the 3 liters and then drink, or drink normal water and drink 1 liter or something like
Yeah,
that?
it depends. It depends on your lifestyle. Okay. If you work from home, if you stay at home, okay, then you're drinking from your water, then you have all your container, then of course you can put it there. Okay, let's say if you're working in the office, right, and you are getting water from the pantry or from the water dispenser, then you will do cup by cup lah. You see or not? Yeah. So there are some people who will go out with one whole tumbler of water. Okay. I don't do that. I find that it's heavy to carry lots of water. So I saw some of them, they bring 2 liters with the water container everywhere they go. So you can actually in the morning, All right, just put the MagHealy there and then get the water ready, and then you drink throughout the day from there. It's fine. Okay, so you have to see what is your lifestyle, and then you
Got it.
adjust accordingly. Yeah, so some days when I'm busy, it's like if I'm having an event and the whole day I'm talking, I don't drink a single cup of activated water, okay, because I have no time. Yeah. So other days when I have the time, then I compensate my body with it. Yeah. So using the devices, it helps, but it cannot tie you up. Then you will find that it becomes burdensome, but you have to be flexible with it now. Yeah. So it's the same as people who like to drink hot water, warm water. You like it as hot as possible, but maybe one or two glasses you may want to just change, yeah, and make do with not so hot.
I just want to just
Yeah.
share one, like
Mm,
I use this water programs frequently. So
mm,
when I had stopped a particular medicine, I used to get in my analysis the bioenergetic detox. So I had seen a lot of difference. So I also
mm,
like mental clarity when I couldn't think in my work or anything.
yeah.
Like, and I use mental clarity. It has really helped. Yeah,
Okay.
I thought
Yeah,
I'll share
yeah.
it.
That's a good thing that you mentioned, like the detox, okay, to drink that after, let's say, taking medication, antibiotics and all that, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
that's a good idea. So you actually flush out the residue from the
yeah,
body. Great, great. Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, Christy. Thanks a
thank
lot.
you, thank you, thank you for your contribution and your question. Okay, Mina, are you there? Mina Jain?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Christy, for this wonderful session. A very eye opener, I would rather say. Thank you once again. I just wanted to ask Christy, do we have water limitation? Like I store water in a jar which has approx 10 to 15 liters. So can we charge it together like for nutrition support, energy, stress?
Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, when you have those big containers, it's better that you dispense into your glass and then just charge it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, if you want to do it for your whole family, yes, you can.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Just
That's
put
what
the MagHealy in that the big dispenser, right? And then after that, you charge it. Okay. So whether you want to do multiple, I do not know how much actually it can contain. So I normally do one at a time or at most two. Clean the water and then I put in the next information. So you can try doing one program for everybody in that whole big container, and then next day use a different program, or you try two programs and see what's the difference. Okay, so you have to try that. Okay, the reason is because I do not have anything to test. So I have no idea what information. Does it unlimited can carry as many as possible? I have no idea. Okay, yeah. You can actually test the difference from the taste of the water. You can
I
have
just wanted to, yeah.
you can have two glasses. One is activated, the other one not activated. So you drink one glass, one sip, just to taste the texture of the water before activation and then after activation. Yeah. So some people they are very, very sensitive. They can taste the mild sweetness from the water itself. Okay. Yeah. So you can test with different programs and see what happens.
But does it reduce that charging consistency like 100% if I'm charging at least 10 to 15 liters of water? Does it reduce that thing or is it okay? Just
Okay.
one program, supposing I'm using.
Yeah. So I don't think it has to do with the amount of water. I think it has to do with time. As time passes, okay, the information get diffused.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the time. Because if I have one glass of water, I probably finish it within 1 hour. So the information within that 1 hour, I don't think would have diffused much. But if you have 10 liters and then you leave it there for 24 hours, okay, and then you drink along the way, So the information might actually diffuse over time. It's not about how
Gotcha.
much water is there. Yeah. Okay. Because molecules, they will move. So the more time there is, then the more time they will actually start to move.
Okay. I've been doing it. I found it decently. It was affecting. It was giving good results. But then, because of, I wanted to clarify again where if I'm going right.
Yeah. If
And
you are
I use the
getting,
maximum 2 to 3 programs also. If I use nutrition support, then I use fitness also, sometimes energy along with it.
yeah,
So you think I
okay.
should not do this?
No,
Because
I
I
mean,
was suggested by somebody
if
that you
you,
can use maximum 3 programs.
yeah, so you can, if you have tried the 3 programs and it seems to be effective, then go ahead. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Okay, there's no
I'm
right or
getting wonderful
wrong.
results. I'm getting
Yeah,
wonderful results like for the plants and this fitness program. I myself had some challenge related to fitness. I used drink this water. I feel very much
okay.
energetic, better. All this.
Yeah,
So
okay,
that's
great,
what I.
wonderful. Okay, I will try
And
to
could you
see.
suggest any program related to some cancer patient? Because I heard from someone that it helps in cancer patient also. What programs would you suggest?
Use all. You have 24. Use all. Okay. Every day you drink 3 glasses of water. Okay. So don't stick to one. Okay or not? Because your whole body needs to be supported. Okay or not? So yeah. So if they've gone through chemotherapy with so much residue of drugs, so they may need detox. So basically, every day use, yeah. So you go, okay, today I'll use the top 3. Tomorrow I'll use the next row, the second 3. So
Okay.
every day you just
So
use 3 like that. In 1 month, you have finished all the 24 programs. You see, Ara? Yeah. So you have diversity of the benefits better than, oh, use this and then every day you drink the same thing. Yeah, drink all.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Okay.
experience. Thank you. Thank
All
you so
right.
much, Christi. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your question. Okay. Okay, Sima, you want to ask your question? Are you there, Sima?
Yes, thank you so much, Christy, for this beautiful session. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. So, about the intensity that you said for the water, like, so ideally we should keep it like for like if I charge it in the morning, you would advise to finish it by the evening?
Yeah, if you
Okay. And then
can.
charge
All
again,
right.
and
If
then charge
you
again for the night?
the next morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if you
Yeah.
charge it and now you're just leaving it there, you see or not?
Right.
So for me, my
Okay.
reasoning is to keep the information there. Okay or not?
Okay.
So because I
Yeah.
have no way of testing how fast the information actually dissipate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's
Got
the
it.
unknown factor. So
Okay.
yeah, so to get the
Uh,
best benefit is as close to the charging activation, you should actually drink it. Yeah.
And do you advise people to have like 3 different programs for the same day, or I can just charge, one entire big, vessel of water for the whole
You
family?
can try. Okay, just now Mina said that she do
Yeah,
three
3. Yeah.
programs in that large container, and it works wonderfully for her. So you can
Mhm.
try that. Okay, try with 1 program, try with 2 programs, try with 3 programs. Yeah, and then
On the
see.
same water. On the same water.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I have another very pressing question. I know the session is for the water, but if you could help me with this, is that, I wake up around 3, 3:30 to mostly around 3, 3:30 in the night. And it's been happening since years. And I thought, universe is waking me to meditate, but I know that it's not meditation anymore. It's a cortisol spike, that I get. I've
Mm-hmm.
done a lot of research, and I'm prone to overthinking. I used to take a lot of stress, and
Mm,
then maybe because of the trauma or the fear that I had in my early childhood or whatever, maybe past life, I don't know. That programming of stress, and the adrenal fatigue has set in. And it's just getting worse. Like some days I can go back to sleep after doing a lot of box breathing and maybe putting on the bed rest program and all that. But I want to avoid, using my phone and putting on the program in the middle of the night. So for that, how to, like, what program is there in Healy that supports the adrenals and the cortisol spike program?
Hormonal? Have you ever tried hormonal? Hormone?
Yes, I've tried, but I've not taken it recently.
You try and see hormone is you have it in harmony, you have it in
Yeah.
meridian, okay? And
Yes.
then this is under hormonal. The water, let's say if today we are doing water, you can do after stress. Okay, have you tried the sleep for water? Sleep for water, you can try coherence, you can try the
I've
after
tried
stress.
vagus harmony
Vegas,
because
correct.
I feel that my nervous system is not in
Yeah,
balance.
yeah, correct. So the other one is all the brain program. Okay, because when you talk about the
Which program?
cortisol, brain, okay,
Oh, yeah.
learning, under
Yeah.
learning, MagHealy also
Mm-hmm.
got the brain, got thalamus, got nerve, vagus. You
Yeah.
try those. And then if you have the mind wave, okay, use all the mind wave programs to see
No,
whether
I
or
don't
not,
have mind by.
or you don't have mind wave. Yeah, so then you can work on those programs, either hormonal, okay,
Mm-hmm.
brain program, nerve program. You have
Okay.
balanced nerve, yeah, all that, huh? I'll
Nerve
try
harmony.
all of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in MagHealy also you're suggesting to do the vagus nerve and the thalamus and brain, right?
Brain. Yes. Yes.
So what is the difference between brain and thalamus?
Okay, brain is more of the cognitive function, and the cognitive
Hmm.
function is also where you have the dopamine, serotonin, and then neurotransmitters, stress hormones, etc. Thalamus is where your pineal is, and thalamus is also the part that actually is the gateway for your emotions. So you mentioned trauma, okay, and then you mentioned overthinking, all that, right? So that's why you work on both. Yeah.
Okay. And so from the brain, serotonin and the dopamine, they get balanced?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Right.
awesome.
It
Okay.
affects it helps to regulate your mood, your sleep, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
So according to you, like if I am in a state of emergency right now, which should I focus more on in the beginning?
Which should you focus on? Okay, you do your 5 by
Let's
5,
start.
and
Yeah.
then which one normally comes out for you?
I usually get I did get maybe some, like everything comes for me. It comes like bioenergetic harmony, meridians I get, deep
Okay.
cycle,
Those that I
defense.
mentioned, like let's say
Uh,
brain, nerve, hormonal, do these come out for you?
no, not really.
Okay. Yeah.
I did get thalamus once, but I did a research, and so I have tried thalamus, and I don't know. It's because some days I sleep okay, some days I don't. So maybe I should start maintaining a diary
Ah,
on what days I'm taking what, and based on
yes.
that.
Correct. Correct. Like there's one person who had insomnia, and
So
one
my
day,
problem is not
yeah,
insomnia.
yeah, yeah.
I can sleep,
So
but I wake up.
yeah, so sometimes the program that help you may not be the program that you think you need, you see. So this
Mm.
person, she couldn't sleep. So she was just flipping through the menu, and then she just saw this S11, which is the prosperity program. So she just used the prosperity program, and then she said she fell asleep almost instantly. Okay. So she's been trying sleep program, cannot. And the prosperity program happens to help you to sleep. So sometimes you think that, oh, my problem is here, my problem is here, my problem is here, and you try to target. And yeah, so sometimes intuitively, it might be better, or programs that appear in your 5x5 that you have never used before, those could be the programs that you need. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So don't limit yourself to what you think you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Explore
Okay.
also programs that you have never used before. Yeah. Or
Okay.
the least likely one that you think you need. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your questions. Okay, we'll
Thank you.
answer a few more. Shilpa, how to use it for an estate, for coffee, pepper, and other crops. You can use coach, okay? Meaning that you create a profile. It can be under a building or it can be under others, which is your land, your piece of land, your plantation. And then what you do is you can then remotely use either water programs or atmosphere programs through the Blue app to send it to your plantation. Yeah. Okay. If you want to use the water program, then you have to think of a way through the water that you use for your plantation, whether or not you can use the MagHealy to activate the water to water all your plants. Okay. Yeah. So that's a good idea that can actually help you to produce healthier crops and hopefully to increase your yield as well. So in short, you can use atmosphere program, okay, but this place is so big that no point you bring the MagHealy there because the MagHealy is 2 meter radius. You will need thousands. So what you do is it has to be remote. Okay, it has to be remote. So you record the vibration of your plantation using the Healy, create a client profile. I would say for building, then you put the GPS location for your land. Okay, then use atmosphere or the MagHealy water programs to send it to the whole entire piece of land that you have, the estate. That's how I would do it lah. Yeah. Okay. Avinash, okay. Please guide us to how MagHealy can be effectively used in beauty parlors and spas. So when people come, if they come for beauty skin, right? So you can use skin. That means unless you have enough MagHealy that you can actually allow every client to actually put the MagHealy on the belly while they are enjoying the spa. So you can run skin programs through the MagHealy. Okay, if not, you can also use this one, but each one will have to wear it while they are receiving the treatment. If you're doing water-related therapy, then it's through your water, through the mask. Okay, you can use MagHealy activated water mask and then put it on the face. So I do not know exactly which one you're using. Okay, so if you have beauty product that has water in nature, then you can actually activate those water that you use together with your beauty and spa treatment. Okay, I need more details than that. Okay, so do I just take 1 glass of charged water per day? No, you can take separate glasses. So if you drink 3 or 4, so if you drink 5, maybe out of the 3, you activate your water. Okay, yeah. Then salt acted as catalyst to process the electrical charge. Okay, salt itself has a certain frequency. Okay, yeah. So you have to try it because what I've not tried before, I can't give my perspective on it. So you can actually try. One is salt plus whatever, and then you activate it, and the other one with just water alone. Compare the difference. Feel your body. How to feel the body? You can actually feel the alertness. Okay, you can see the clarity of your thinking, okay, and see whether you actually detox, color of your urine, yeah, color of your stool. So all this will actually give you information. Sometimes it's the eyes, the alertness of the eyes, the sharpness of your eye. So all these are the differences that you can actually tell. Okay, layer multiple frequencies in the same water. We mentioned that experiment, okay, and find your combination. So you can actually do that. Okay, yeah. Then Joy asks, do all these programs produce H3O2? According to the scientific explanation that when water is subjected to either electrical field or electromagnetic field, they will actually do that. Okay, yeah. So, but this water is not the whole tank of water. So only water that is near or on the surface on the hydrophilic surface, okay, like your cell membrane on the surface of proteins. So only water that is attached or very near to those areas. The rest do not become H3O2. Okay, A's question is, if you can't finish in an hour should be fine. Okay, a day should be fine. Okay, based on what I read, they said that the information can actually remain for a few days to a month. But then we do not know how strong the signal is for that. Okay or not? So don't worry so much about the 1 hour. Within a day or within a few hours, if you finish the water, should be okay. Does it have the capacity to convert water to alkaline water? No, not MagHealy. MagHealy does not convert it to alkaline water. Alkaline water requires electrolysis, okay, where you have to subject it to electricity. Then they actually split, okay, the water to H plus and OH minus. That's splitting water for alkaline. Here, the H2O remains intact. We are not splitting the water molecules, but we are structuring, arranging the water molecules within the coherent domain to carry that information. So we are not splitting the water itself. So there is a difference between MagHealy and the technology for alkaline water. Okay, the recordings is available in Healy World Learning Hub as well as our Experience Connect Facebook. Classic, do we keep Classic and McMakin, you use it directly on the body. Yeah, ceramic, anything that's non-metal is fine. Only metal that you do not use for the container water. Okay, Shilpa asks, can we activate water in glass and then transfer it to steel? Okay, I don't know. I've not tried that, but based on the materials that I read, no steel. Okay, they said that steel will actually interfere with the distribution of the electrons. Okay, yeah, so they totally discourage metals, whether aluminum or anything else. Metals, they said no metals. Okay, Lucy's question, water coherence that structures the water. All programs, okay, all programs. Yeah, so yeah, all the program has the frequency, because they're all electromagnetic frequencies. When you're using this, it's electromagnetic frequencies. So as long as it's electromagnetic frequencies, the water actually do get structured. Not just the coherent program, all the programs. Okay? Yeah. Just that all the rest will form the coherent domains. Yeah. So all of them do. The taste, the difference, yes. Okay, because depending on country and places, sometimes they have the phosphates, they have the chlorine, all this. So it can be bitter, it can be like a bit, how to say, certain texture to the water. So when you activate it, there is a mild, gentle sweetness, and it is the sweetness of minerals. Okay, that's how I feel it, and yeah, then it makes it easier to drink somehow. Okay, some will see the difference in the aftertaste after you drink the water. So the aftertaste is not as unpleasant. Okay or not? Yeah. So it depends on the sensitivity to taste and your tongue. So you can taste the difference. And the more detoxing you do, you become more and more sensitive to the finer taste of your food and water. Okay, one last one before we close for the day. Soul healing. You still have question? Your hand is still up? Okay.
Yeah, I have just asked that what is the position, ideal position for drinking water? For yoga, that I know that it should be the sitting position.
I can't hear you very well. The position one, right? The
I am in
drinking
the public
position.
transport. Actually, I am in the public transport. I just want to tell that what is the ideal position for drinking water? I think
Yeah. What do you mean by the ideal position?
it is sitting position or standing. I know it is sitting position, not in the standing.
Oh, okay. Whether
That I
sitting or standing. Okay, okay. I haven't done research or read about this one. Yeah. So most of the time we drink sitting. Yeah. So I have no idea about that. So I can't really comment on that. Yeah.
But as far as yoga, that is the sitting position.
Sitting position. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you very much for staying all the way until now. Thank you for all your questions. Okay. And thank you for your sharing as well. Okay. See you again next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.